So, what is an algorithm? First of all, an algorithm is a well-defined step-by-step solution for any defined problem. Algorithm is not specific to any programming language, and it is generally written in a human understandable form. Okay, so if I talk about the time it takes for a computer to execute an algorithm is not a valid thing, because you cannot run an algorithm as such, because algorithm is not written using a programming language. So the very first thing which is very important is that you need to convert an algorithm into a program, and then only you can execute it using a computer. So algorithm just tells you the step-by-step representation of how we are going to solve the problem. And it is very important to write an algorithm before you write a program. Further, if we cannot, let's say, execute algorithm directly, then how do we define the time? Please focus on this particular line of the algorithm, which says that algorithm is a well-defined step-by-step solution of any defined problem. So step-by-step solution, number of steps, number of operations, these are what define the time taken by an algorithm. कितनी लाइंस हैं, कितने स्टेप्स हैं, या एक स्टेप के अंदर कितने ऑपरेशंस हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ आई से a is equals to a plus b, this is one statement, but it has multiple operations. Like a plus b is one operation, then जो भी रिजल्ट आएगा a is equal to b is another operation. So defining it by the cost of the operations, or defining it by the number of steps it takes, is the complexity of an algorithm. It is not the actual time. इसका एक और भी रीजन है कि हम लोग कभी भी टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी को एक्चुअल टाइम टेकन के हिसाब से नहीं लेते हैं, बिकॉज if we employ a faster machine for the same algorithm, or the program converted for the same algorithm, it is bound to take lesser time. So that cannot be the case. So it is the number of steps taken or the number of operations that we perform is the time complexity of an algorithm. Okay, so let's go here and discuss what is the complexity of an algorithm. Complexity of an algorithm is defined in two parameters. One is called time complexity. Time complexity can be measured in terms of number of computational steps or number of operations performed by it. तो दो चीजें हैं, इन दोनों में से आप कोई भी ले सकते हैं. या तो आप नंबर ऑफ कंप्यूटेशनल स्टेप्स लेंगे, या आप नंबर ऑफ ऑपरेशंस परफॉर्म करेंगे. तीन तरह की टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी होती है. वन इज वर्स्ट केस. वर्स्ट केस आपकी एल्गोरिदम फॉर एनी स्पेसिफिक वैल्यू ऑफ n वर्स्ट परफॉर्मेंस क्या देती है. Best case for any value of for all values of n, sorry, that this algorithm will perform better than one standard algorithm. तो हमें एक स्टैंडर्ड नोटेशन दिया होता है, जैसे n, n स्क्वायर, n क्यूब, 2 पावर n, log n. तो वर्स्ट केस का मतलब ये है कि उस नोटेशन से वर्स्ट करेगी. बेस्ट केस में उस नोटेशन किसी और नोटेशन से बेस्ट करेगी. एवरेज क्या होता है कि इसमें दोनों वर्स्ट और बेस्ट जो हैं वो डिफाइन किए जाते हैं कि इन दोनों के बीच में ही रहेगी. The next is the space complexity. What is the space complexity of an algorithm? Refers to the amount of space needed by the variables and other objects and functions. So space is the amount of space required, time is the amount of steps it will take, and that defines the overall complexity of an algorithm. The next comes the time space trade-off. What is the time space trade-off? Now that the complexity जो है वो represent की जा सकती है in terms of time and space, what is our requirement? What is the requirement of the system? Does the system want to improve the time? than the existing time, or it wants to reduce the space than the existing space proposed by the algorithm. Both of them cannot be improved at the same time if you already have a very good algorithm for that. That is called the time space trade-off. Sometimes what happens is that we compromise on space to improve the time, and sometimes we compromise on time to improve the space. So they both are having to trade off. Okay, so I'll give you an example for the same, and one example is, let's say, swapping of two numbers. So what is the swapping of two numbers is basically can be done with the help of two variables and three variables also. For example, if you have a and b as two variables, one way to swap these two numbers is to use another number, temporary number, let's say temp. Now temp is equals to a. We have saved the value of a in temp. Then a is equal to b and b is equals to a. So this is it. B is equal to temp. Sorry, b is equals to temp. So that means the swapping of two numbers has taken place. Number of operations are very less. The number of operations, as you can see, are only 3, and one extra variable has been used. Now, but I don't want to use an extra variable. That's the requirement of my, you can say, time space trade-off. Okay, if it's take a little more time, it is okay, but I cannot afford to give more space. So what we have to do is here is a is equal to a plus b, b is equals to a minus b, and a is equal to a minus b. So this is also going to swap the two numbers, but here you can see that the number of operations are way too much than the first part, but we did not use an extra temporary variable. Let's see if this example works. This is a is equals to b, a is equals to 10 and b is equal to 20. So temp is equal to a. So what is the current value of temp? The current value of temp becomes 10. A is equals to b, so the current value of a becomes 20, and b is equals to temp, the value of b becomes temp. The two numbers have been swapped. Now let's see the second example. A is equals to a plus b, that means 10 plus 20, that means a becomes 30. Now b is equals to a minus b, that means 30 minus 20, so b becomes 10. And the last is a is equals to a minus b, that is 30 minus 10 is equals to 20. The two numbers have been swapped, but both these you can say steps represent the टाइम स्पेस ट्रेड ऑफ. हमने जो फर्स्ट एग्जांपल किया है, उस फर्स्ट एग्जांपल में हमने किसको कॉम्प्रोमाइज किया है? हमने स्पेस को कॉम्प्रोमाइज किया है, और दूसरे में हमने टाइम को कॉम्प्रोमाइज किया है. So this is a perfect example of how we can trade off between the time and space. हम लोग किसी एक पैरामीटर को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए दूसरे पैरामीटर को कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर सकते हैं. It is possible to compromise on one parameter to improve the second parameter. It is clearly written in the theory here that it is possible to compromise on one parameter to improve the second parameter. You can reduce the time complexity to improve the compromise on the by compromising on the space, and you can reduce the space by compromising on the time. So that's what is time space trade-off between the two algorithms. Now what we are going to start with is asymptomatic notation. So what is an asymptomatic notation? That is what we are going to discuss. So before we start with the different types of notations and how they are used to represent the time complexity, we are going to start with the definition of what does the asymptomatic notation of an algorithm refers to. So let's begin with that. Asymptomatic analysis of an algorithm is referring to defining the mathematical foundations or framing of its runtime performance. So what we are going to do is that we are going to represent some kind of a mathematical foundations for representing the time complexity of an algorithm. So using an asymptomatic analysis, we can very well conclude, हम लोग क्या निकाल सकते हैं, बेस्ट केस, एवरेज केस एंड वर्स्ट केस सिनारियो of any algorithm that you propose. What does asymptomatic analysis do? It is the input bound. If there is no input to the algorithm, it is concluded that concluded to work in a constant time. अगर हम इनपुट ही नहीं दे रहे हैं हमारे एल्गोरिदम को, so that means it is a very static algorithm, then it is always going to take the static time. The only reason that the performance of the system is going to vary is when you are going to give a varying input. So in case you are going to give a varying input, that means the time taken by the algorithm will also vary. I repeat this thing, please keep this in mind. If the algorithm does not take any input, then it is always going to take the same amount of constant time, and the performance of the algorithm is only going to vary if we are going to give the varying input to the algorithm. Asymptomatic analysis refers to the computing of the running time. हमने करना कुछ नहीं है, हमने उसका running time calculate करना है. एक function हमें बताएगा कि this is the running time of your proposed algorithm, and then we are going to compare it with the you can say notations that are already available with us to see whether they perform better or worse than them. For example, the running time of the one operation is computed as Fn. हम मानते हैं कि एक ऑपरेशन को परफॉर्म करने के लिए हमें Fn टाइम लगता है, and maybe for another operation it is computed in this time. So मतलब एक एल्गोरिथम को हम लोग Fn टाइम में कंप्यूट कर सकते हैं, तो दूसरी को n स्क्वायर टाइम में कर सकते हैं. This means that the first operation running time will increase linearly. धीरे धीरे आगे बढ़ेगा. Fn जितना इनपुट बढ़ेगा उतना ही आपका कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी बढ़ेगा. लेकिन दूसरे केस में जो आपका टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी है वो एक्सपोनेंशियली बढ़ेगा. एक्सपोनेंशियली का मतलब क्या है, काफी स्पीड से बढ़ेगा. उसका मैं आपको एक यहाँ पर एक ड्रॉ कर बता देता हूँ. फॉर द फर्स्ट एग्जांपल, व्हेन द कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी इज f of n, यानी जितना n बढ़ेगा उतना ही आपका कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी बढ़ेगा. लेकिन अगर n स्क्वायर है तो आप देख सकते हैं टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी इज गिवन है, n के बढ़ते बढ़ते आपका n स्क्वायर जो है वो इस तरह से बढ़ेगा. फॉर एग्जांपल, if n is equals to 1, then the time complexity is 1. For the first case, if n becomes 5, the time complexity also becomes 5. दूसरे एग्जांपल में आ जाइए, if n is equals to 1, then the time complexity is 1. But if n becomes 5, the time complexity becomes 25. And more the n increases, the time complexity is going to increase way too much. So that means हमें करना क्या है, हमें एक ऐसा एल्गोरिथम बनाना है जिसके लिए फॉर अ वेरी लार्ज वैल्यू ऑफ n वी हैव अ वेरी गुड परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ द टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी. स्मॉल वैल्यू के लिए हम लोग कभी भी कंसीडर नहीं करते हैं. So best case is the minimum time required. Average time required means best plus worst divided by 2 will be the average case, and then the worst case. Next, the most important types of these asymptomatic notations. What we have discussed so far is analysis. Now we are going to discuss the notations. Following are the commonly used asymptomatic notations to calculate the running time. So which are those? Big O notations, theta notation, and omega notation. So let's just further go. The big O notation, that is, you can see here, it is used to represent the upper bound of algorithm running time. It is used to measure the worst time complexity. यानी अपर बाउंड हमने लगाना है एंड वर्स्ट केस को हमने रिप्रेजेंट करना है. यानी आपका एल्गोरिदम इस एल्गोरिदम के कंपैरेटिवली इट इज परफॉर्मिंग अबव दैट. तो उससे वर्स्ट परफॉर्म करता है, अपर बाउंड लगा देता है। एंड इन एनी केस द एल्गोरिदम कैन नॉट परफॉर्म वर्स्ट देन दैट, इससे ऊपर नहीं जा पाएगा। तो यहाँ पर अगर आप इस फिगर को देखेंगे तो दो चीजें ग्राफ के अंदर की गई हैं। One is called the Fn and the other one is called the Gn. So what is Fn? Fn is the amount of time that is represented in the form of asymptomatic notations. ये एक asymptomatic notation है, हमारे पास बहुत सारी होती हैं, लिस्ट दी जाएगी at the bottom. Can be some constant, it can be n, it can be log of n, it can be n square, it can be n cube, it can be 2 power n, or n power some constant. So many notations are already available which are represented in the terms of Fn. Fn means the amount of time it takes to solve a particular operation. So multiple operations can also have the same complexity. Now, what is the Gn? Gn is the complexity of the algorithm proposed by us. हमने एक एल्गोरिथम लिखा है, ये उसकी कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है, जबकि f of n एक ऑलरेडी जो हमारे स्टैंडर्ड असिम्प्टोमेटिक नोटेशंस है उनको बता रहा है। एंड this is representing some value k. It can also be referred to as n0. तो नीचे वाला एक्सिस क्या है n और ये वाला एक्सिस क्या है, this represents the time complexity. As the value of n increases, also increases the time complexity. And what does big O notation represent is that the performance of your Gn will always be greater than, or performance means the time, amount of time taken by the Gn will always be greater of Fn when the value of n is greater than some k or n0. यानी इस पीरियड के लिए हम लोग इसको वैलिड कंसिडर नहीं करते हैं. So it is not valid for any value of n which is less than k or n of 0. जब n की वैल्यू n0 या k से बड़ी हो जाएगी, then only we say that the performance of or the time taken by Gn is greater than Fn. So this much of period is not considered in this example. I hope that this thing is clear. So let's move even further. So this is it. So big O notation of Fn, it holds true. What is an Fn? It is some standard asymptomatic notation, is equal to true for some Gn, that is the complexity of an algorithm proposed by you, if there exists some C which is greater than 0 and No such that, क्या ट्रू होना चाहिए, f of n is less than equals to C into Gn for all n greater than equal to 0. इसमें दो तीन चीजें हैं. अगर मैं इसमें से C को निकाल दूं थोड़ी देर के लिए, मैं उस कांस्टेंट वैल्यू को निकाल देता हूं, तो पहली चीज ये है that the f of n should be less than equals to g of n. यानी g of n is the proposed algorithm complexity should be greater than equal to the value of fn. अब इसमें कंडीशंस लगाते हैं, कौन कौन सी हैं. एक कंडीशन है that the value of input that is n should be greater than n0. इस ग्राफ में ऊपर वाले में n0 को as k रिप्रेजेंट किया गया है. तो f of n should be greater than equal to c of g of n for n greater than 0. And second condition is that there should exist some constant value for which this holds true. That means f of n is greater than equal to c into g of n for all values of n greater than n0. So this is the formula for representing the big O notation, which means the worst case परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ एन एल्गोरिथम। इसका एक एग्जांपल है, सो इफ आई कैन शो यू दैट एग्जांपल, it will become even more clearer. So let's just move towards that example if it is available. So here is that example. So we are going to only discuss one example here. So there is some you can say complexity given here for certain operation, and that complexity is 100 of n plus 1. So what is the complexity? The complexity is 100n plus 1. It can be expressed in terms of big O as follows: f of n of 100n plus 5. अब इसको हम लोग बिग O में कैसे रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं? We you can say ignore, हम किन चीजों को इग्नोर करते हैं? ऑल कांस्टेंट वैल्यूज को। हम लोग सभी कांस्टेंट वैल्यूज को इग्नोर कर देंगे एंड पिक अप द हाईएस्ट डिग्री ऑफ n. Highest degree of n means if it is there n cube, n square, or n, whichever is the highest degree. In this case it is n cube, so we will pick up that. So in 100n plus 1 we will ignore the constants. That means 5 को ignore कर देंगे और 100 को भी इग्नोर कर देंगे, तो हाईएस्ट डिग्री ऑफ n क्या है? 1. सो दैट मींस द कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ऑफ और रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ दिस इज n, व्हिच इज f ऑफ n. ठीक है, सो व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ gn इन द फॉर्म ऑफ सम asymptotic notation is n. सो आई रिपीट, f ऑफ n जो हमारी एल्गोरिथम की कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी है, इट इज 100 ऑफ n प्लस 5, और हमारी प्रपोज एल्गोरिथम की असिम्प्टोमेटिक कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी कितनी की है? दैट इज ओनली n, बिग O ऑफ n. हमारी एल्गोरिथम की एक्चुअल कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी इज f ऑफ n, और हमारी ही एल्गोरिथम की असिम्प्टोमेटिक कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी इन टर्म्स ऑफ बिग O इज n. कैसे आई? हमने सारे कॉन्स्टेंट्स को रिमूव कर दिया और n की हाईएस्ट पावर को सेलेक्ट कर दिया। अब हमें ढूंढना क्या है? हमें ढूंढना है एक ऐसी वैल्यू ऑफ c और एक ऐसी वैल्यू ऑफ no जिसके लिए कंडीशन ट्रू होनी चाहिए। कौन सी कंडीशन ट्रू होनी चाहिए? दैट f ऑफ n इज लेस देन इक्वल्स टू g ऑफ n। हमें ये ढूंढना है, ठीक है। तो उसके लिए हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? 100 ऑफ n प्लस 5 should be less than equal to c of n, and n should be always greater than equal to n 0. तो उसके लिए हमने ढूंढ निकाला, if c is equals to 105 and n of 0 is equals to 1, तो आप यहाँ पर लगा सकते हैं फॉर्मूला। रिप्लेस करना है n को और c को। दिस बिकम्स 100 into 1 plus 5 is equal to 100 of 5, which is less than equals to c into g of n, which is also 105. So that means it is true for all values of n greater than 0 and the value of constant is equals to 105. इतना ज्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड समझ में आ रहा है तो हम लोग इसको दोबारा और दोबारा वीडियो लेक्चर को आप देख सकते हैं। अदरवाइज दिस थिंग इज वेरी सिंपल। सो लेट्स गो बैक and finish this topic so that we can start with the other topics. These are very simple topics. So what is the big O notation? Big O notation gives you the worst case complexity of an algorithm where g of n is always greater than or equal to f of n. So let's talk about omega notation. Omega notation represents the lower bound. Lower bound का मतलब क्या है? Your algorithm will perform better than the asymptomatic notation for all values of n greater than 0. इसमें देखिए डिफरेंस क्या आ गया? your gn is lower than the fn. पिछले केस में क्या था? पिछले केस में gn was at upper side of fn. Now the gn is at smaller side of fn. This represents the omega notation. The last one is called the theta notation. Theta notation का मतलब क्या है? That it expresses both the lower bound and the upper bound. So you can see your asymptomatic will be 2 for your algorithm जिसकी complexity कितनी है? f of n. तो मेरी एल्गोरिदम की कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी क्या है, fn। तो मैं दो असिम्प्टोमेटिक टर्म्स इसके लिए लूंगा। एक ले सकता हूँ g ऑफ n, g1 ऑफ n, या एक ले सकता हूँ g2 ऑफ n। Now g1 of n, if it is less than equal to fn, it represents the big O, and fn, sorry, this represents the omega, and fn less than equal to g2 of n represents the big O। तो ये रिप्रेजेंट करता है बिग ओ, ये रिप्रेजेंट करता है बिग ओ, और ये रिप्रेजेंट करता है आपका ओमेगा। तो थीटा क्या रिप्रेजेंट करता है, थीटा इस टोटल को रिप्रेजेंट करता है, दैट मीन्स लोअर ऑल्सो एंड upper also। So let's just go down। So what is theta? Theta is when big O of fn and gn is equal to theta of fn। So that means it should come in the middle। तो ये आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं। This is clear, okay? So what are the sum of the asymptomatic notations? Constant O of 1 always stays the same। आप n को जितना मर्जी बढ़ाते जाइए, the complexity will never change। 1 is log of n, बहुत कम बढ़ती है complexity। n मतलब linearly बढ़ती है, n log n, then comes quadratic, then comes cubic, then comes polynomial, and then comes the actual exponential। So these are the asymptomatic notations which will be used to represent the complexity of your algorithm। So with this we come to the end of the first part of our lecture today, and we are going to start with the next part of your lecture within uh, 2